Hello and welcome to the email marketing module for your service or tradie business. Now, a few things that you're going to need to get started with email marketing is going to be number one, you're going to need a business email. Now for this on the screen, this is the one that I recommend. It's the Gmail Business Email Suite, and this is going to allow you to use your domain to create a custom email. So it's going to be at yourcompany.com.au or something like that. Cool. If you haven't already got yourself a domain and a website, please go watch the previous videos and get that sorted. Then you're going to go through the steps here. I'd start the free trial and just try it out. And that's going to walk you through exactly how to get that started. But once you have that email, then you can go on to the next step. Now, if you followed the course so far, you're going to have a leads list. Now, for obvious reasons, I have blanked out the actual important information of these leads. But as you can see, this is a leads list for one of our businesses. We've got 111 leads on here that have come in the last month. And essentially what we're going to do is use that leads list. Now, what's really important with email marketing, something that you're going to have to consider before jumping into this, is how clean is this leads list? And what I mean by that is when we first get the leads, this is where they go. And essentially what happens is they are dirty leads. The spelling is wrong. It's formatted wrong. As we can see here, we've got, the first letter capitalized and then the rest are uncapitalized. And what that means is that you're going to look a lot more professional if you're actually using clean leads. The other thing too is with your email addresses, you're going to want to make sure that they're sending. Now, if you are using a really good email marketing platform, this isn't going to be an issue because it will check those leads and if the emails will send or not for you. But one thing I want to make clear is that with your leads list, you want to make sure that they are done proper. First thing is splitting between your first name and your last name. You can do that through, if you are using Google Sheets, data, split text to columns, and it's going to automatically split the first name and the last name. And then the next thing is you're going to want to have the proper grammar use. So basically what you want to do is use the equation that I've used up here, equals proper, and then in brackets which one you want to turn proper. So if I were to click on this one, you can see it was already proper, but there are certainly some down here that weren't proper. So if we look at Cherie and go over here, we can see that it was all capitalized. Now if you send an email all capitalized, that's just going to look bad. So make sure you clean your data before you put it on there so you can look great. Cool. Now, next thing is you need an email marketing platform. Now, my hot pick for email marketing platforms is one called Ontraport. I'll put a link below. I'll put actually all the links I've used so far below so that you can use the same things that I'm showing you here. You can start with a free trial, which I would recommend and trying out and making sure that it works for you. But Ontraport is a great and reasonably priced platform that is extremely powerful at bringing you new customers. All right. Now, basically all you want to do is sign up for that and then you'll be able to get started. So let's say you've gotten your email, you've got your leads ready, you've signed up for an email marketing platform. It's time to start understanding the structure. So here's our dashboard. This is what most email marketing platforms, and if you aren't using Ontraport, then most of this stuff is also going to be pretty similar. Now, the first thing is once you get an email marketing platform set up, the first thing that you need to do is go into your settings. For Ontraport, this is under administration, and you're going to want to go to email and set up your from email address. So what you're doing here is setting up what email we're going to send it from, and it's going to verify that you actually own that email by sending an email there and allowing you to verify that. Cool. Once you've got that set up, you're going to want to import your contacts. Now, how we do this is you go to contacts, settings, import contacts. This is going to allow you to drop in a CSV file. So what you're going to do is go to your leads form, you're going to go File, Download as CSV, and it's going to basically allow you to upload that and allow you to select which columns mean what, and then all your data will be up on there. Now, I'm not going to go onto my contacts form here because I don't want you to see the personal data of these people who the business and our marketing have gathered this for them. But essentially, once you click on contacts there, it's going to show you all the data of who's on there. All right. Now, what you're going to want to do is, let's say you've created an offer, and if you don't have an offer already, what I would recommend is working through the rest of these videos here, especially the one making offers, so that we can teach you how to make really, really great offers so you can send out email marketing scripts and get some awesome results from them. Cool? So, once you've gotten your offer as well, make sure you come back to this video if you don't already have one. What you're going to do is start to create an automation. Now, it's not forms, messages, broadcast history. You're just going to click on automations and create a new automation. So let's click on that, and we've got one unpublished one here just because this is a tester account, and I'll show you what that is shortly. But if we want to go to new automation, it's going to give us a whole heap of templates. So if you want to try some of these out, feel free to. But realistically, what I would be doing is creating a new automation for each offer. Personally, what I like to do is start from scratch, or if you have a basic template that you basically set up, and you can just reuse that each time. So you can create templates that you can go back to so it becomes quicker to create your automations. Now, with your automations, this is basically your email structure. So let's go to my automation here and let's walk through a few of the basic principles. Now, the first thing with email marketing is you need to get a way to get your contacts onto there. So added to automation, so you can just add a whole bunch of them onto the automation by selecting a group of contacts, adding them to it. But that is quite a manual process. For majority of people, they're going to have what's called a welcome sequence. So anytime that someone is added to the database, and if you have a lead form that's from Ontraport, they're going to go directly into that. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to our team. They'll be more than happy to send a guide to you. But the most easy way to get people onto here is by creating a trigger. So by clicking to the right here, we can add a trigger, and we're going to click add trigger. Now, your welcome sequence for majority of people is going to be when a contact is created. Cool. Now, another way to get people onto here is when you add a tag to someone. So when you add a tag to them, then they can be added to it. The other thing is when a field is updated. So if you're currently missing information on there and you find out that information, that then allows them to go through a different email sequence that is reliant on that, then that's also a way that you can get them onto here. You can have when a call is logged. So this is a really smart piece of software where you can make calls through it as well, or you can simply just log calls. But essentially when you log a call, it's going to have a follow-up sequence that you could create, for example. Or when a contact submits a form. So if they submit a form online, this is basically a way of getting them in, and it's a specific form. So they go through a specific sequence from there. You've also got other things when they click or open an email as a trigger, and that shows that they're interested in it. Then they go down a new sequence. So let's say you have a welcome sequence, and on one of those you have a link or an email about a specific offer. Then you can send them down a new sequence provided they haven't ordered. Let's say they've purchased a product from you. So this could be a feedback, sequence that they could go through. So there's lots of different ways that you can get people into here, but one of the easiest ones is either contact is created or they've completed a form. So if you are using an email sequence like an email platform like this long term, realistically majority of them are going to be submit a form, and you're going to be able to choose which form they select. But for this purpose of showing you guys, I'm just going to go contact is created. Cool, and done. So any contact. Now, one thing you'll notice is that these arrows are going down here, this arrow is going down here, and they are two very different things. They're not going on the same track. So what we want to do is click this little plus here, and we're going to want to go to advanced filters. Cool. Go to, and then we can drag this little guy over here. Contact is created, it goes down the same stream. Now here's how we want to basically do a simple offer sequence. And I'm going to walk you through it. I'm not going to show you the specifics of this actual campaign, but this is a very simple and effective campaign that you can use to get your customers excited. Now, one really important principle going into this is that you don't want every single email to be like, I want something from the customer, I want something from the customer, I want something from the customer. The customer also needs to get something from you. So you're going to have to make sure that some of this is just valuable content that people want to click on the email for you. All right? So this is what's called a 5-sequence effective email campaign. Now the first one is you want to send an introductory offer. So you're going to create your offer, whatever that is, and you're going to create an email around that offer. Let's say you're a carpenter, you have free quotes. Or let's say for any jobs over $2,000, you're going to get 10% off the quotes this week. Or you have some kind of an offer around that. Something that's going to get people excited. It doesn't have to be price driven. It can be absolutely anything that's going to get people excited about you. But the first thing that you want to do is basically send them an introductory offer so they understand why they're in that campaign and what's important about it. Cool? Then we're going to go into what Gary Vee calls the jab, 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 right hook. So essentially what you can see here is we've just got send an email. Now we want this first one to be a content email. We're going to want to show them the why. So Simon Sinek has this really cool, principle, which is start with why. People need to understand why they need something before they're going to take any actions. All right? So the first thing here is you're going to want something around the why that's also educational and something that they're going to want to actually read through. Cool? The next one is going to be the how or the who. Realistically, I would go with the who next because the how is going to be a bit more driven to people taking action. So, and from an offer standpoint, you really only want to have a call to action on the first one and on the fifth one. The ones in between here are simply going to be content that's going to make them comfortable and engage the customer. So, first one, intro offer. Then we've got 3 jabs of content that's going to make people interested. And then we're going to have a final one, which is going to be trying to get more people to get that offer. So you've essentially got 2 spots where you can create demand for your offer. Now you can go longer sequences and you can add more content in there, but this is just a good way to get started and trial your offer and see how people react to it. Now then comes the question, well, how long do people wait between these? Because at this stage it just says wait sometime. Realistically, when you're introducing a new offer and you've got a shorter sequence like this, you're going to be looking at 2 to 3 days between emails. Now you can extend that out to 5 to 8 days. However, I typically go 2 days for your first wait, so waiting 2 days. Your second one is going to be 3 days. And then we're going to go into 3 days again. So between content emails, I typically go 3 days between these. Did it again. And then for your last one here, I typically want to change this up a little bit and go for 2 days. And this has worked really well for our clients in getting attention around offers. But essentially what you're going to want to do is keep it around that. That's what's going to keep people engaged and understanding what your offer is. And I would probably do this monthly or fortnightly. Realistically, 2 days plus 3 days plus 3 days plus 2 days, that's 10 days. So if you were to do this fortnightly, you would have people receiving emails every 2 to 3 days. If you were to do this monthly, then there's going to be a little bit of downtime. You may want to extend the time between these emails. But the main thing is to be present and known with them. You can also create what's called a drip feed campaign, which is essentially a campaign that once they sign in to being your customer, you're going to create some evergreen content. So content that really isn't going to go, it isn't going to go out of fashion, essentially. This is content that no matter whether it's 2010 or 2030, this content's going to be somewhat relevant to them. But what it is going to do, it's going to keep your name, your brand front of mind. So when they do have something that they do want to, a project that they may want to run by you, or they want to get a quote from a plumber, that you're the plumber that comes to mind, or whatever your trade or service is, that you're the person who's front of mind here. But what's important is that, one, we're creating content that is not selfish content. We can't create content all the time that is me. I want people to spend money with me. We need to create content that provides value and serves the customer in some way, much like this video content that I'm providing for you, so you can grow your business completely free of charge. That, selfishly, in future, if you want to get more results, let's say you've gotten some really great results from the content that I've provided here, potentially in future, if you go, hey, I want to grow my business even further, and that content got me up to a certain point, but I really need some professional help to make this change, that this brand, myself, may be the person in mind that you go, hey, I might want to work with them and get some even better, far more leverage results than what I'm currently receiving. And that's the same thing that you want to do here. You want to be present, you want to be front of mind with these people, and they also want to know that you're alive, you're keeping well, and if the business is going well and is providing content, then it must be a business that serves people and does some good stuff for them. So I really hope that helps in getting your email marketing underway. If you do want to understand a bit more around the complex email marketing side of things, feel free to reach out to my team. We do have a few really cool templates that we can send out to you around creating offers and about structuring these campaigns. So feel free to reach out, but I hope that helps, and I hope you can start your email marketing journey. Awesome. Thank you. Bye.